How's everyone doing tonight? We'll jump on for a quick live or so, and we'll see how it goes. Should we record that?
What are you on?
YouTube?
I just got the right.
Yeah, I ain't messing with TikTok. Whew. How's everybody day going today? Well, I guess it's about over with now, so. How was everybody's day today? Anybody get anything done today? Do I?
Anybody on?
We got rain all day again today. Now they're calling for rain and snow tomorrow. And then rain for like the next, what is it? Pretty much like 5, 6 days. Hey Flintlock, how you doing? You had a pretty good day today? I just got home from church about 45 minutes ago, so. Yeah, so we got rain all day today, and then tomorrow they're talking about rain and snow, and then rain for at least until like next Wednesday, so. Something to look forward to, I guess. Hey Dom, how you doing? So, it is what it is, I guess. Oh, not too much, Joshua. Just got home from church, ate a little bit of dinner, and decided to go live on the old YouTube. Hey Billingsley, how you doing? What? She's still right.
I'm sorry, please attest to this.
But that's right. But our meteorologist has a YouTube channel, and he posts videos about every day on there. So I watched the updated video today, and he's talking about rain all night, rain and snow tomorrow, and then rain for like the next week. Yeah, I'm doing good. I hope everybody else is doing good. Joshua, did you leave the hospital yet? Well, they still got you laying in the bed. Joshua, yeah. I guess there could be worse places to be. Worst part about the hospital is it just gets boring after a while. And I know when I was in the hospital, it's like I had so much I needed to go home and do. It just sucked laying in the hospital bed, day after day after day after day after day.
I think the phrase,
I'm not froze.
you know, mine was showing my screen
I think I was in the hospital for 6 days or something like that. I don't really remember. Thank God for YouTube. Oh yeah. I was in the hospital, watched a lot of TV, spent a lot of time on Facebook. I couldn't, I wasn't home, so I couldn't really do anything there, so.
when did you go to the
I don't remember. It was, I think July, middle of July,
hospital? June.
June. I don't know. It wasn't the most fun I ever had, that's for sure. I can think of worse places to be than the hospital, but I can think of about 1,000 better places to be than the hospital. So from what I hear, everybody's pretty much still getting bad weather today. And probably for the next couple days. I think a lot of people's trapping season's pretty much over because of the weather. I'll have the results tomorrow. Yeah. What did I get done today? I mean, just typical work pretty much. Hey PA, how you doing? Pretty much just work, trying to do what I can, and then had a couple errands to run, so did that, and then we went to church.
I think you were in Middleton, the 15th to the 19th.
Billingsley, yeah. Yeah, we had some crazy rain last night. I don't think it was near as bad as they said, but we still got quite a bit of rain, and it rained pretty much all day today, and the next few days we're gonna have rain. That's good, PA. So did anybody have anything interesting happen today? Besides a MRI? I've already had somebody that got an MRI today. Billings, you're setting tomorrow regardless? Yeah. Thing about it though is, did you guys get like any rain at all? So you don't have to worry about the water levels going down and having your trap exposed? Yeah. www.blakelystrapping.supplies.com. Hey Deer Slayer, how you doing tonight? And then the new platform is sportsmanconnection.com. Huh. Rain, there was nothing like they were saying, yeah. So we didn't get what they were saying, but we still got quite a bit of rain. We didn't get all the hail and stuff, I don't think. Oh yeah, I guess coon's better than nothing. I'm doing good, Deer Slayer. Sounds good, Joshua. I appreciate it. Illinois ends tomorrow. 30 something.
33.
Mm. Hmm. Sounds good, Billingsley. If you get one up, I'll definitely be watching it. Yeah, we didn't get any snow, but he's calling for snow tomorrow. But he says none of it'll stick, but we're gonna have snow falling tomorrow. I appreciate that, dear Slayer. Two misses and drowners and innovation. Yeah. The only thing really bad about rain and beaver trapping is the water goes way up and then it goes way back down. Yeah, so we're supposed to be in the 40s tomorrow and get snow, but they're saying none of it's going to stick because of the warm weather. What's your phone for a second?
Alright.
Because I asked for it. All you did was spray in my new location. Yeah, definitely going to be some crazy weather, that's for sure. Ball done it, oh yeah. That's for sure. I've missed them many a times, I can promise you that.
Please let me be sure you wouldn't hit me.
Yeah, I haven't heard from Scab today. Beaver's got a headache. Yeah, probably. I posted the website link for you, Joshua. It's easier to find. I posted it off my wife's. Huh? The heater.
So I thought we were done with it.
I don't think we are done with it.
Well, it's gonna be 30 degrees tonight.
It's not gonna be 30. It's gonna be 35. There's a big difference.
Yeah, and I have a newborn coming in the house in the morning.
Alright. So I shared the link to my website and I shared the link to my new platform. Yeah, I get that, Joshua. My back gets like that, and I'm still young compared to most people. No problem, Joshua. Hey Jamie, how you doing? PA, yeah, who knows?
You know about pizza tomorrow?
Flintlock, yeah, everything's going up. If you guys knew the prices of some of the things that have went up, it's ridiculous. The only thing in the trapping industry that didn't go up is my profits. And that's a fact. Every time I order stuff, it seems it's more expensive than it was 2 or 3 days before or a week before. Just crazy. I've been doing good, Fisher. Still have a messed up ankle. That's not good. If you mess up the other one, that'll kind of even itself out. Did you know that?
I'm not sure if that's how that works.
It might work. But yeah, a lot of the trapping stuff is, gotten ridiculous. Which I know metal has gone up and labor's gone up and shipping's gone up and jars and containers have gone up. Everything's crazy. Yeah, prices are crazy and stuff's hard to find. Yeah. It's when people quote me stuff and I give them the prices and they're like, well, that's not the way it was. And I'm like, that might not be the way it was, but it's the way it is now. I mean, I'm not raising the prices. Believe me, I'm paying quite a bit more. There's a lot of things that are ridiculous. Like the Z traps. Not only did their prices go up, but my commission on them is half of what it was before. I was thinking about breaking a pinky to take the mind off the pain. Yeah, that worked back in the '90s. I don't know if it will now. You know that movie, don't you?
No.
You don't know that movie?
What movie are you talking about?
Midge Payne.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he always does. Like when that kid's gonna get a shot and he's crying. He's like, "You want me to take the mind off that pain?" He's like, "Yeah, let me see your hand." And the teacher walks in. She's like, "What are you doing?" I've ordered a few lure ingredients. Not too many right now. Right now what I really need is some more jars. But I gotta get the money to do it.
The greens.
Yeah, gotta get the green stuff. Just wanted to swing by and say hi. I love streams, but I had no problem, dear Slayer. Yeah, I'm planning on doing a couple more, like maybe earlier afternoon and stuff, just to, I know there's some people that aren't up this late or they work nights that can't ever get on here, so I'm gonna try to do some lives probably around 11 to 1, something like that, so people can, people that ain't able to make it at night or whatever can get on there and like chat with them and see how they're doing. So come see the nurse you have. We'll give you some thing to help the pain. Joshua, yeah. Major Pain. Major Pain is a great movie. That's one of those movies that if they came out with that movie now, people would flip. It definitely wouldn't be considered a kid's movie now.
I don't think it was.
See you, dear Slayer.
Kids
Hey, Dark 30, how you doing tonight?
back in the day.
Yeah, it's considered a kid's movie. People just didn't take offense to stuff then like they did now. So far, Billingsley, what I have ordered, jars and containers have went up a lot. I actually started using different jars because the glass ones, went way up. So, I'm using some plastic ones now, but they're like a thick plastic, and everybody that's had them so far tells me they really like them, so. But yeah, the jars are really what went up that I've noticed big time. There's a few things I haven't ordered. I know I'm not too sure what Caster's going to be like yet, because I haven't had to order any, but I'll probably be having to do that soon. Same thing with some skunk essence. But as far as oils and stuff, I haven't really seen a price increase in oils yet, but I'm sure it's coming. The Castwell Smith smack, yeah, smacked against him though. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh yeah, Fisher, you going on vacation or something? I do not use sack oil. Um, I don't really have a good way of getting it. Honestly, most people that get beavers, they don't even cut the sacks out. They just cut the casters and throw the sack oil away. Yeah, glass is way too much. Say the little glass jars I was paying, I think they were 48 cents a piece. And the last time I went to order them, they went up to 92 cents. So I was like, yeah, that's not happening. So I did a lot of checking around and found me some new jars. Yeah, lots of people use sack oil for their lure making. If I did a lot of beaver trapping or if I had a way to get them out, I would probably do it. But I don't really have a way to get it because it is a good ingredient for a lot of things. But currently, I do not use it. Hey, Arctic Cat, how you doing? You have a pretty good day? Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping prices don't go up too much on different lure ingredients. Because I definitely don't want to raise my prices at all. I sell all my lures $5.99 an ounce. I don't want to. I don't want to have to raise prices. If I do anything, I'll probably end up having to discontinue the 4 ounce jars. They'll definitely work, man. I know a lot of people that use it. PA. Trapper Jay's using it in his new lure. That's awesome, Wild Arrow. That's awesome. So I definitely, one of my main goals next year is going to be trying to find me a place to trap some beaver. Huh?
Become a millionaire.
I'm going to become a millionaire. Yeah, sack oil is awesome stuff. I'm saying there's lots of people that use it. Alright, Fisher. Thanks for stopping in. But, the way that, I don't know, the way that I've seen it is I don't want to have to raise prices on my lures, so if anything, I'll have to discontinue the 4 ounce jars. It's funny, sack oil, I won't say quite a few people, but I've had a few people that um, do beaver trapping that say they don't even know what, the sacks of oil, the oil sack is on a beaver. They're like, I've never even seen it. I'm like, it's right there by the casters. There's big old sacks full of liquid. Hey PC, how you doing? Put it on a stick, leaning down, touching the water. Sack oil. Yeah. Alright, Wild Arrow. I appreciate that. Sell 1 pint jars. Yeah. See you later, Fisher. You have a good night, man. Not much liquid. It depends. I mean, sometimes they're plumb full and sometimes they're not. Say, I don't. Stepmom is cooking pork chops and they smell good. I bet they do. Oil sack itself is the base to my aces and eights spread everywhere. Awesome. Yeah, I've only skinned one beaver in my life, and that's one of my friends gave it to me. And I accidentally nicked one of the oil sacks. Of course, I was kind of rushing because we had a church thing that we was going to, and I was trying to get it done real quick. And you never want to rush when you're doing stuff like that.
Where were we going?
The Christmas play at church.
The
All right, Walter, I appreciate
Christmas
it.
Eve?
Tell her to email us one. Yeah, PA. Flintlock, yeah. I'd imagine. I've had a couple people that say that when they're skinning mink, the smell kind of gets unbearable. Yeah. Seeing when I got the oil sack, I was trying to. I'd already skinned the beaver, and I was trying to cut it off. Is when I poked it. What is the deal with peeling the tail? You can make leather out of the tail. A lot of people make wallets and stuff with it. Well, a lot of people just cut them up and make beaver tail oil. Leave the skin on and everything, but a lot of people will use the skin to make leather. You can't skin a mink without nicking a gland. Do you eat the tail? Some people eat it. Some people they'll cut the fat off the tail and cook it with their steak and then eat the fat as they're eating the steak. And some people will just fry it in oil, kind of like the pork rind. I buried it, couldn't get past the smell and messed it up trying to do it fast after that. Yeah. That's usually when you mess up, is when you're trying to get fast. Gotta go, eat those delicious pork chops. Alright, PC. Appreciate that. You have a good dinner, man. Thanks for stopping in. The gift that keeps on giving. Will you catch with meat and gland water? That would be a question for Billingsley. Pretty sure Billingsley said he's coming out with a meat gland lure this year, if I remember right. I could be misspeaking, but I think that's what he said. So now, has anybody heard from Scab today?
Wasn't he just on earlier?
No. Curiosity deal for predators. There you go, PA. Billingsley just answered it for you. Say, mink is one of those ones that I absolutely know nothing about. But, not that I've ever really heard of. I'm sure there probably is a few around, but not that I've ever heard of. So I'm sure there is some around, but I've never heard of anybody catching one or anything like that around here. Of course, most of the, like trappers around here are like secretive about everything. A water weasel that sticks their head in every hole they see. Half-gallon of meat glands that have been aging since 69. That's crazy, Billingsley. What are you going to do with those? You going to use all that for personal use? It'd definitely be hard to match that again. What was that? 50, 53 years? Definitely be hard to match that again. Save them for your own use, yeah. I'd say that would definitely be hard to match that if you was going to try to make a recipe with it.
You just have to get Louie to continue it.
Yeah, but you'd only get one batch every 50 years. Unless you had like 30 gallons sitting there for 50 years. Hopefully never have to smell them. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people and bait makers that like to age their stuff a lot, whether it's their baits or whatever, to get a very strong smell to it, and I'm not so much one of those. So you can never duplicate them. You could start them, but someone else would have to finish it. I was talking to somebody a while back, and they said that they took a pint jar and filled it full of egg and put it out on a wooden fence post, and it had been sitting there for 5 years. Like, you think that'd be good for to use as bait? And it's like, if you can stand being around it, probably. But like the baits and stuff, I'm not a huge fan of using really stinky baits. I know some people are, but and I've used a few in the past and have had success with it, but I just feel like I do better with a mild, like fresh bait. Yeah, Jamie, I definitely wouldn't be eating the egg. 4 months to a year. Yeah. The rotten meat smell. Yeah. I've used a few of them. I've sold lots of that stuff. I mean, people love it. I've used the Hiawatha Valley before, and I caught a couple coyotes and a couple bobcats on it. Never did use the Carmen's Bushwhacker, but I know a lot of people that like it. Skunk don't bother me, but Hiawatha Valley is nasty. Yeah. They're very nice and mellow. Yeah. I tried getting some eggs. We got a hatchery, Simmons Hatchery, that's just a couple miles from my house, and I asked them about getting some eggs from them, and they're like, no, we use all our rotted eggs for dog food, and it's like, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to find me a different route than that. Chunks of deer meat, yeah. There's lots of people that use chunks of deer meat in their sets. And the sad thing, I mean, the thing about it is a lot of people are getting where they just try to make their own baits and lures, and they're not really buying stuff anymore. Eggshells in a jar. Yeah, and there's a lot of people that use horse hoof clippings. Like they'll take the clippings and let them set, like sun render them basically. A lot of people say that I said a lot, but I've heard a couple people say that horse clippings is like jerky. I seen a video of a guy eating it. He clipped a horse's hoof and then started eating it.
It's sick.
Said it tastes like jerky. Longliners, pals, a quilted fish egg base, rainbow, devil. Yeah. There's a question for you. Most of my dirt holes I don't even bait. Yeah. See, I'd rather use bait than a lure, honestly. Yeah, AutoCAD. Yeah, there's a lot of people that use hoof clippings. I like lure, but a lot of times I'll find myself using bait and not even putting a lure out. I like most of my catches from the end of this year, most of my coyotes, I caught on my kryptonite lure, and that's all I used on that. Hey, Internet Vet, how you doing tonight? Make a fish bait out of creek chubs. Go for it, PA. Definitely be good for like raccoon and otter and stuff like that. Anything that likes fish. You probably catch bobcats on it too. Flintlock. Skunk has never really bothered. Skunk don't bother me at all. I like skunk. Let's say we'll be driving down the road and I'll smell skunk and I'm like, stop. My wife will kind of freak out. I'm like, what? And I said, I smell a skunk when you find it. She's like, stop doing that. It's like, what? When you find it. Take it home. She's like, I'm not putting that in my car. And I'm like, oh, come on now. Oh, I said I need to get me a syringe to carry around with a glass bottle. So we can just stop and get the essence out of them.
Yeah, 'cause that's not suspicious if we get pulled over.
Okay. Billingsley, what's the law on like picking up roadkill and skinning it? Like if you picked up a skunk and skinned it, like is that illegal to do? Need a bucket and lid to keep in the trunk for skunk. Yeah. I had a big tub in there for a little while. It's all Johnny Thorpe carried his minnows in his bucket. Here, roadkill is legal. Yeah. I didn't know. I ain't talking about eating it. I'm talking about skinning it. I mean, I ain't picking up roadkill and eating it. There ain't no telling how long it's been there. Unless you drove by and there was nothing and then came back by and then it was laying there. That's one thing. But I ain't gonna just go pick up stuff on the side of the road and eat it. Who knows how long it's been there. Keeping my pain level pretty controlled. Had an MRI. Yeah, Joshua, I hope it ain't too bad. In the season, you're fine to pick up roadkill. Figuring. So what's the rest of the week look like for everybody? I know Billingsley said that he's going to be putting some beaver sets out tomorrow. Joshua's going to be waiting on his MRI results tomorrow. Jamie.
He learns.
Jamie, it's ain't nothing gonna save that.
No.
Yeah, PA. Joshua, that's what I'd be. So we've had some, but it's like fresh. Like my cousin hit a deer and then threw it in the back of his truck and brought it home. But that's a difference. Trapper survey we have to fill out at the end of the season. It has a place for claiming roadkill and pelt count. Tomorrow work, before work, and rest the ankle. Told you. Just mess up the other ankle, it'll even itself out. Although I do have a lure called the Highway 90 Roadkill. It's got a stomach turning smell to it. It does really well on coyotes. I don't know if any of you in here have smelled it before.
Daryl, hasn't
I don't know. If you hit it, that's one thing, but if you don't hit it, you have no clue. Yeah, what I'm saying, I mean, never know. Bend it first. Maybe you just need to go get a metal rod in this one. Has anybody been doing much fishing yet? Yeah, Judith, then I've thought about that. Not so much that, but there's some laws against that, against using uh, really anything deer, like what I would do, because you are not supposed to take anything from a deer and put it out to where another deer can get in contact of it because of the CWD stuff. Because I did some research on that once, and yeah, because there was I was going to use some deer as a base and a lure, and yeah, yeah. Everything I read, I decided not to risk it. Internet vet, I don't know. I don't see anything like in Missouri. I don't see anything that has a list of anything from different trappers in Missouri. Like the president or whatever of the MTA, the Missouri Trappers Association, he said there's a lot of people that are have memberships to the MTA that don't even want their names to be public or known. I'm like, to me, that's just weird. I was thinking about it that way. I can have a magic legs. Yeah. The Trout Gold Rush just starting. That's awesome, Jamie.
I'm going to hit the bed.
Money.
I'm still watching, but probably fall asleep like last night.
We'll probably fall asleep when we get to the room.
I fell asleep last night. I guess
Texas
you
Canyon
ended.
breaks bait is sheep and good get based.
When I woke up to it was playing Christian music. I couldn't figure out what was going on.
You slept.
I was like
It's
trying
loud.
to click on your live, and it kept sending me to Christian music.
Give me some Kool-Aid would be fine.
Grape or
That stuff's disgusting.
it's not the hot paprika.
I don't know. I had something the other day that was sick. Oh, it was the wild berry juice. That thing was sick.
This is
I want grape.
this is blue.
I don't really like red. Red always gives me heartburn.
It's
No.
tropical punch or something like that.
Sheep and goat get. So, Billingsley, I'm guessing you have a sheep and goat, like, farmer pretty much around you somewhere?
Chug a chug chug. I'll make one more.
You said bait, not one, my bad. I don't care. Lures, do you skin and gut the nasty sheep? Billingsley, what do you do with it? Do you eat it? Just question. Each. Are they your own sheep that you have, or a neighbor or something? You hated the sheep? Yeah. See, I've had a few ideas of different lures that I've wanted to make, but wanted to make and try out. So the one with the deer, I really wanted to do that, and I did a lot of research for a while, and everything I read said that it's illegal to take anything from like the inside of a deer and put it out to where animals can get a hold of it, because you could spread diseases. So that pretty much told me no. If you know, yeah. Oh, broken mouth, you. I wasn't gonna be selling the meat. The meat of the deer isn't what I was gonna be using. I wouldn't waste deer meat like that. Deer meat goes into my freezer and then goes into my stomach. But there's different ways that I can get around what I'm wanting to do. Just have to try it out. But what I'm thinking about would definitely be a while from now. Only fur bear can be sold here as bait. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be using the deer meat for bait. I'm gonna eat that stuff. No, not pig. And anything's a fur bearer. Depends on what you're using the fur for. I mean, if you're using the deer skin to make leather with, I mean, you could say a deer is your fur bearer. I know a guy that used to make moccasins and wallets out of deer hide. So, Billingsley, how many different baits and lures do you have, including the ones you purchased? I don't know. I don't know if I told you or not, but the chicken gut base very good, no predators, but again very loud. Yeah. But those lures that was for sale, what was that, about a month ago, maybe a little more? The guy that was selling the two lures that we was talking about. I know the guy that bought them, and he was talking about how expensive this stuff was to. How he was talking about how expensive the ingredients to make them was. I said, yeah, that's probably why that guy was selling them. Because it probably got to where the ingredients cost more than he could, make it worthwhile to him. So that's probably why he was selling the lures. I tell you what, if prices of things keep going up any more than they already have, it's really going to get tight on doing stuff. That's for sure. Yeah. And so he's already asked me if I would want to sell them for him. I said, yeah. I said, you get them made up, just let me know. I'll give it a shot. Yeah. Billingsley's got Fox River. I think he's got Fox River #1 and Fox River #2. If I got him right. I think I do Fox River. So I got a few of Billingsley's lures and baits. The shots, you got a little bit of yard telling me it's time to get a couple hours of good sleep. So. Alright, Joshua, no problem. Appreciate you coming on and chatting with us tonight. You have a good night, man. Hope your back gets feeling better. Billingsley, will you be doing very many demos this year? 3 different predator baits, 2 different coon baits, 3 different beaver lures, and 10 predator lures. 10, 13, 16, 18. Yeah. So, Billingsley, do you ever have a time where you feel like it gets hard keeping up with all of them? Because I know there's always going to be like the ones that you sell a lot of, and then the ones that you don't sell a whole lot of them, but you sell enough to keep making them, kind of thing. Say, I always hear people say red fox and gray fox. Like, what's the big difference? Like, between the urine and the glands and stuff, what's the big difference? Because I hear people a lot of times that say they want red fox glands. They don't want gray fox, they want red fox only glands, or they want gray fox only glands, or they want red fox urine or gray fox urine. Is there really that much of a difference between it? Yeah. Yeah, it gets a bit hectic at times, but yeah. So I gotta get me some more jars ordered up. I'm hoping like Friday I'll have the money to where I can get some jars ordered in. Grays are more like a cat. I know coyote gray fox. See, and I haven't caught a lot of foxes. I've caught like 4 or 5. I'm getting 2 of them tan this year. But my brother's wanting 1 of them, so. Because I was going to get 1 of them tan, then he's like, I want the other one. I was like, alright. I'll get them both tan. But I've not caught a red, and I've never seen a red fox here. But one of my friends that lives not too far from me has caught a red fox. And then I have a customer that lives about an hour from me. He's caught a couple red fox this season. but all the ones I've caught are gray. But I mean, I guess you could say I'm more of a coyote trapper. I know there's some people that target fox pretty much like strictly just fox and stuff like that, but cat call and blackfoot catwool is really good on grays. Gonna catch cats too on them, yeah. So many goats there killed the rats. Rats have a strong musky smell, yeah. So I don't know. I've never even really seen a red fox. All the ones I've ever caught around here, they're all gray. They don't really have too much of a smell to them, but they're vicious little turds, I can tell you that. Both the ones I caught this year were like psychotic. The first one I caught was really, really bad. And the first one I caught was, it was funny because my wife was with me, and there's a pond, there's a pretty big pond, and had a set on this side, had a set here, and then I had a set over here. So the first one had the gray fox. So we stopped there, and I took my pictures and everything, then I dispatched it, and it dropped dead, and I watched it, and it like quit breathing, was done. I was like, alright, well, like I said, before I pull it out, I'll just walk, we'll just go walk and check the rest of the traps. So we took off walking, didn't have nothing, and we was coming back, and I was looking at the gray fox, and I mean, it wasn't moving or nothing, I was just walking, and then I seen like its eye move, and I was like, that thing ain't dead, it's just plain dead. Then my wife took another step closer to it, and it just went. And I'm telling you what, my wife came like out of her shoes, took off running. I was like, I knew he went dead because when I started walking up, I seen him blink. So he was definitely playing good at playing dead. But once he did that, he stood up and started trying to fight again. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna shoot you again. And grays can get away from coyotes more than country. I've never heard of a fox climbing a tree before. That's one thing I'm always wanting to learn, and you guys are teaching me stuff today. That's crazy. I never would have thought that. Ever. Hmm. That's weird. Trade grays with the hounds. It's crazy. Yeah, flintlock. So here in Missouri, we're unlimited on cats. We just gotta get them all tagged. The tags are free, but still gotta get them tagged. Meat climb trees too. Yeah. That don't surprise me too much. Not like gray fox climbing trees. That's surprising me. Trapper J, one of his last videos, he was out setting for beaver. There was a tree that had a limb that was a little above his head, and he's like 6'4", 6'5", and the limb was, I mean, it was close to eye level, if not a little above his head, and it was chewed off by a beaver. So obviously the beaver had climbed up the tree and chewed the limb off. He's like, I ain't never seen anything like that before. And I was like, yeah, me neither. Treat them too. Nothing else do much. Man. Yeah, I've heard here lately that like Ohio has some horrible laws. Like Ohio, they can't hardly they have to modify a number two trap to be able to use it. Uh, they can't they can't they can't trap bobcats either. Beaver in that country. They did this one. It was a tree that had fell over. It was a tree that had fallen over, but it had a limb sticking out that was like eye level to him that a beaver had chewed off. So the beaver like walked up the base of the tree and then went up the limb. And so no, it wasn't a standing tree. It was a tree that fell down. Say that place that I was seeing the trees chewed up. I drove by there yesterday, and there was a guy parked on the highway walking down there. So I don't know if maybe he had traps down there or if he was just gonna go fishing down there. I don't know. I could just like see his head going down the hill. Groundhogs are great climbers too. Thought Jay was messing with us. No. So he's got the video, like he shows the tree and everything. But the tree had fell down and then the limb like went up like that, and the beaver walked the trunk of the tree and then up the limb to chew the end of it off. It definitely went out of his way to chew off a small limb, that's for sure. But where he was at, he said that he thought there was a bunch of young beavers there because, I mean, there was like some ginormous trees, I mean, like 5 foot around that they were chewing on. And like they would start chewing here and then chew here, then chew here, then chew here. He's like, yeah, he's like, I think it's just a bunch of 2-year-olds that are trying to figure it out. That's like, well, probably. It still blows my mind that a gray fox climbs the trees, but in a way, I mean, it kind of makes sense because they're almost like a dog mixed with a squirrel. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess, if you think about it. Found places here where beaver are chewing cypress knees. Yeah. I had somebody, I think most of y'all know who Jeep Fam is. But he talked me into reactivating my TikTok account and just posting catch videos until TikTok bans my account. And I was like, okay, we'll do it. We'll see how long it takes. So now I'm seeing how many catch videos I can post until they ban me. See a lot of red fox in and around town these days. So, yeah. So I've not seen a red fox here. I've seen grays. I've caught grays, but no reds. But like I said, I have people not too far from me that have caught reds. So they're around. I don't think they're very thick. They're very well populated. We're starting to see more black bear here too. There's a town that's Powell that's let's say tops like 8 minutes from me, and there's been quite a few bear sightings there in the last year or two. There's been a few here in my town. A couple years ago, there was a semi that hit one on the highway. So there's not like a huge amount of them, but there's some. And elk. Starting to get elk. I know there was a little girl in Springfield about, let's say 2 years ago, that shot a spike elk during youth season. And then one of my friends that lives about 45 minutes from me, he got a trail cam picture of a spike elk. Which up in like central Missouri, they have an elk season now with like 6 tags or something like that, 10 tags maybe. I'm guessing they do it just to wear teeth. They don't cut them down and just chew. Yeah. So, like I said, I don't know a ton about beaver. I know they eat different trees for food. What makes the difference between the food that the trees they eat and the trees they use to build dams? Like, what trees do they normally cut down for dams, and what trees do they normally eat? Oh yeah, we got mountain lions here. I've yet to see one personally. My brother's seen it, and then one of our old family friends that I consider my grandpa, he'd seen one years back. And me and my brother a couple of times had been out when we was kids hunting squirrels and stuff, and we'd see a cat track, about that big, and it's like, yeah, that's not a tiny little kitty cat. And then we ended up actually getting a trail cam picture of one. I need to see if he still has that picture. I've seen where they strip some bark on those knees. First, I think they use them in landmarks. Wouldn't surprise me. Some animals are very smart. They eat the bark and use leftovers for dams and lodges. I see. I guess that makes sense. Willows and cottonwoods here to eat, plus a lot of wild hedge. Like, hedge, you mean like hedge apple trees? I would think they would like sweeter, like sweeter trees. And I know there's a lot of like birch and stuff like that they eat, but I mean, we don't have any of that stuff around here. Not that I know of, anyways. But like some of the sweeter stuff would make sense to me, like maple trees, persimmon trees, like stuff like that would make sense to me. But then again, those are probably ones that they don't even touch. I don't know. You've seen them eat apples when you was fishing? I almost wonder how much damage a beaver could do if they bit somebody. They have a lot of aquatic vegetation. They pretty much leave trees alone here. Seen pine and cedar cut down. Where I live, no, not really, but there's a place if you go north about 30 minutes, I know there's been some hogs shot up there. They eat a lot of grass, like winter wheat. The hogs are one of those things, like, I wish we had hogs, but I'm glad we don't, if that makes sense. Like, I'd love to go out and shoot some wild hogs, but I'm glad we don't have them because they're terrible on your land. Me and my brother did get one on camera, a trail camera a while back. Pretty big one. It was black and white. One of the big food sources here is lily pad too. Southeast Missouri. It don't surprise me. It's crazy because, like, in Oklahoma has like a huge infestation. Like, I can go 2 hours from me in Oklahoma and there's, I mean, tons of hogs. But here, I mean, I've not seen a wild hog around here. Just that trail camera picture we had. Alright, PA. Appreciate you hopping on and chatting with us tonight. Beavers love acorns. Does anyone know, do beavers eat like persimmons? Or persimmon trees? Say, like I always say, I still have a ton of stuff I need to learn. Persimmon oil is a good food source for beaver. So, yeah, pretty much. I know persimmon does really well for raccoons. I caught a lot of raccoons this year on some of my persimmon coon syrup. Persimmon and peanut butter. So, Billings, if you don't mind me asking, where do you... These are for early dirt holes, too. Yeah. Where do you order most of your oils? Like, where's the best place to order bulk oils? The cool thing about trapping is there's always something to learn. Oh, yeah. Definitely. There's always something to learn when it comes to trapping, and I have a ton of stuff I still need to learn. Of course, like I said, I don't have, 10 years trapping experience or anything like that. I'm still pretty new to it. It's become my life, and I spend all my time researching trapping and watching videos and listening to many podcasts and stuff as I can. So I try to learn as much as I can. Peanut butter jar screwed to a tree for raccoon bait. Learn how to smell it from the jar. Yeah, I know a lot of people do that for deer too. They use it as like a licking station, pretty much. Got some from Junior and Son, some from Shannon Todd, and some from Whole Food Store. Mm-hmm. Persimmon fantastic season on best fruits and coyotes. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that coyotes like a lot of fruit. I know a guy that said early season he'll just take chunks of watermelon and put it in his bed holes and catch a ton of coyotes just on chunks of watermelon. YouTuber guy put out a big pile of peanut butter out in the woods with a camera on it. Tons of animals. Oh yeah, all kinds of animals. All canines crave sugar. Yeah. So I said, was it? I think it was my persimmon. The persimmon coon syrup. Our dog. One day, there was this time where she really didn't feel good at all, and she refused to eat, and all she would do was lay on the floor. She wouldn't even stand up, and she refused to eat anything. And I took some of my persimmon coon syrup, and I just put it on her top of her dog food. And she smelled it a little bit, and then just started eating, and then ate her whole bowl of food. So, damn, you're a canine. Yeah. I feel like canines crave just about anything. I feel like they'll eat just about anything they can find. I say that, they won't eat a possum. I was on trapping videos and informative watch ones really happy to camp. Yeah. Well, the thing about it, yeah, there's a lot of videos that aren't trapping related that are super informative. But a lot of animals love uh, beaver. They just love the beaver meat. That's why a lure that molds during the aging process is not a bad thing. Yeah, I dealt with that a couple weeks ago, and I was talking to Bruce Rhodes about that. With some beaver tail oil. Oh, Billingsley, I forgot. There was a guy I talked to. It probably been at least a month and a half, possibly 2 months ago, that he had ordered some of that Texas peg leg bait from me. And I guess for some reason, he thought it was a paste bait. And when he opened it, he saw that it was liquid. So he assumed that it was rotten and he threw it away. And then he told me that he had got a hold of you and you had helped him out. I talked to him and he's like, yeah, he's like, I called the number that was on the jar and talked to that guy and he helped me out. And I was like, well, that's good. And I said, yeah, I'm sorry that like you were, it wasn't what you were expecting, pretty much. Place it for him. Yeah, that's what he said. Go first choice will mold 3 times before it's ready. Yeah. Place it. Yeah, that's what he said. Because he told me to throw it away. I said, well, do you still have it? He's like, no. He's like, I threw it in the trash and they've already come picked it up. And I was like, oh, okay. I've had somebody do that to a couple of my baits and stuff. Like, I opened it up and it was like this, so I threw it away. I'm like, did you take a picture of it at least? Like, I mean, I had a batch of bait. I made a pretty large batch and I sent it to quite a few people who never had any complaints or anybody say anything. And then I had one guy email me and said that he had opened his drawer and it was full of worms. So he threw it away and he wanted me to replace it. Which I replaced it for him. I just sent him a new one, no problem. But I said, did you break the jar or crack it or something? He's like, no. I was like, well, okay. So I asked quite a few people that I knew that had got baits from that batch and asked them about it. And they're like, oh, I ain't had a problem with it. And I was like, all right, well. I said, somebody did, so I just want to make sure nobody else does. Handful of grasshoppers are good in the dirt hole for yolks in some months. Japanese beetles will also do. Oh, that's crazy. I wouldn't even think about using grasshoppers or Japanese beetles. Oh, definitely Billingsley. Said I've done it before many times. It amazes me that not so much that people think it's wrong or something's wrong or something. The fact that they just like throw it away and then ask you about it. It's like, you already threw it away? Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. And I mean, there's probably some of those people that are probably just saying they, threw it away because they want another one for free, but either way, it don't bother me. Puppy coyotes are raised hunting grasshoppers. Fox too, yeah. I guess if grasshoppers are good enough for, what's his name, Bear Grylls, they're good enough for a coyote. Oh. So there's a convention coming up in Hot Springs, Arkansas, that's in May, that I was thinking about maybe trying to get down there. Yeah. That's what I said. That's the guy with yours. He's like, I read that it was a paste bait, and he said, so when I opened it up, that's what I was expecting. And I was trying to figure out where he read paste bait at. I don't know. I don't know if maybe he just read something and got confused. I don't know. I was like, yeah. I said, no, it's a pretty liquidy bait. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, now somebody says that, there's something wrong with the bait, they threw it away, they want to replace it. And I replace it, and then they tell me it happened again with something else, and I'm like, and they do it again, it's like, It's hard telling. So a lot of times it's easier just to, you're right, here you go. Either way, that's, I went through and I counted all the, lures that I gave away at the conventions. I, I, I gave away a lot more than I was intending to. 98% of that was to kids, but especially the coon syrups. Pretty much any kid that came to my table, I gave them a free bottle of my coon syrup lure. I was asking, what's your favorite color? They tell me, and I'm like, here you go. I got purple, I got green, got red, got pink. Yeah. I gave away a ton of lures in Nebraska. Like a lot. Almost a whole box. But I enjoy it. Makes kids happy and maybe excites them a little more to go out and put traps. So. Yeah, see, I give it away, but it's normally to the kids. I usually give it to the kids. Usually, like the adults, when they're buying something, I'll give them, a discount or whatever. Or like if they buy 3 of my lures, and I'm like, yeah, I think they really like this one. I'm like, here, try this one out too, and I'll just give it to them. Even like when people order stuff on the website, all the time, I'll just throw a free lure or 2 in there, or who knows what. I know before, like my Trapper's Gold, before I had it on the website for sale, just like throwing in orders, I probably gave away at least 20 of them. Just throwing in boxes, and somebody would make an order, and I just throw it in the box and send it to them to try it for free. Yeah, so I try my hardest. Check out the scat in the summer. It's full of bug parts. Alright. I mean, it makes sense. Because in the summer, or even in the spring, there's a ton of them. I wish there was a predator that ate more mosquitoes. Because we get a lot of mosquitoes here sometimes. I wish we had a bigger turkey population because our ticks here are ridiculous. I don't really hunt turkeys because we don't have really enough around here to hunt turkeys. And the places we got that we can hunt them because there's a decent population is, about 45 minutes away, and I don't want to drive that far just for, to shoot a turkey. So, but yeah, we have a ton of ticks around here, so I wish we had more turkeys to take care of the tick problem or help maintain it anyway. All right, Billingsley, I appreciate it. You have a good night, man. Catch you on the next one. Yeah. Give a kid a Larry helps. Yeah. Well, that's the truth about internet vet. That's why I normally, the ones that are buying something, I'll give them a free one or a little discount or something like that. Alright, Judith and Dan, I appreciate you hopping in here with us tonight. You have a good night. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. So I try to do my best with kids, and I mean, well, and a lot of times the parents are. What I find funny is, especially in Nebraska, like there would be a family walk up with like 4 kids, and I would tell all the kids, ask them what their favorite color is, and then I'd give them all a free coon syrup that was that color, and the parents would, oh, no, 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 you ain't got to do that, don't do that. And I'm like, just take it. I said, it's for them. I said, enjoy it. So go trap some raccoons this year. And they're always like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, and then sometimes they'll try to pay me, and I'm like, no, just take it. Extremely low cost way to get a life. Yeah. That's the thing, like, I don't know. I don't know. I donate a lot of stuff. And a lot of it, it's not really, I don't really talk about it too much because I don't really feel like people should. I mean, you shouldn't, I don't know. I'm not saying, I don't want to, I don't want to be the guy that's like, tries to make sure everybody knows that I gave away something to somebody or I donated to something, but, I did a lot of donations last year to different trapping events, and I'm hoping I can at least do the same this year to different trapping events. Especially the trapping events for the youth. But, yeah. I don't know, I think this next season is going to be completely different than this last season. Not only because the fur prices were so terrible, and I've already heard from a lot of people say they're not going to trap next season because of the fur prices, but the gas prices keep going up, the cost of trapping supplies keeps going up, everything's going up, utilities, food, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that don't trap next year, or they just don't trap near as much as they normally do. And it's like conventions. I'm afraid that there's going to be not a very good turnout on a lot of the conventions this year. And I think if there still is a good turnout, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that's going to have the extra money to really spend at the conventions, but they'll be kind of just coming to say hi and support and visit everybody. I don't think people will be having the money to spend on supplies this year. Between a lot of people, taking their coyotes to sell and having to take, half of them home and stuff like that, it's just crazy. I said the last time I sent furs off, I mean, my prices were terrible. I got $1 for my coons and $8 for half my coyotes. The other half was of no value. So it's just, I mean, I don't know what you can do. I sent off, I think it was 17 furs, and I ended with like $72, and it cost me $35 to ship them. So yeah, I don't know. I appreciate it, Flintlock. So I try my best. Arctic cat. Yeah. So I think we're supposed to be somewhat quiet tonight, but supposed to get a lot of rain tomorrow. So. And yeah, Flintlock, I try to do my best with different giveaways. I do a lot of donations to different events and uh, at conventions and individuals, and then I got my Facebook, and I always try to have I try to always have a giveaway going on Facebook, have one going here on YouTube. I have the giveaway on YouTube right now for a dozen Duke 650s. For whenever I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a dozen Duke 650s. I'm going to have the giveaway on Facebook. Whenever I reach 4,000 likes, I'm going to be giving away a dozen Duke number 2 dogless traps. And on my new platform, Sportsman Connection, I'll probably be doing a giveaway before too long on that. But I'm going to try to figure out how I'm going to do that. I always try to do giveaways because I try to give back as much as I can to the trapping community and to people. I try my best. But I'm just a small guy, so there's only so much I can do. No, I'm like I've had people reach out to me, like the NTA. They're having a ladies demo. What is it called? Can't think of what it's called. The ladies demo something, but they're looking for sponsors, and they want me to sponsor them like $500, and I'm like that's more than a small guy like me can afford. And so I don't know. I try to do my best, but there's some things that I can't do. Like I know at the NTA, like the Kids Cave, there's a lot of companies that donate 40 dozen traps to give a trap away to every kid or stuff like that. I can't afford to do stuff like that, but I try to do my best. That's why I normally am helping the smaller events. I'm not a huge sponsor for like the NTA because that's for the bigger companies that can afford it. I'm more or less the one that sponsors the little events, the little youth clinics and stuff like that. It's usually what you'll see me helping out. So I try to do my best. Is all I do. Try to give back as much as possible. So I don't think, as far as business wise, I don't think this year is going to be as good as last year. I'm waiting for my commercial to air starting next month. See how that does. See if that helps out any, or see if it's just waste of money. We'll see. Because that was definitely a pretty big chunk of money for a small guy like me. So, any of you guys have any big plans for the week? I think most of the people that said they was doing stuff has already left for the night. Appreciate y'all hopping on tonight and talking with me. Hey, Hunt Ready, how you doing? Figuring out tanning? Yeah. Definitely a learning process. Yeah, so I've had all my traps pulled since January 31st. But I did do the small nuisance job. It was about 2 weeks. Weekend. I think, yeah, it was about 2 weeks. I'd say a week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm doing good. Hunt Ready. So I know I don't really have anything going on tomorrow. The fire department has a pancake breakfast Saturday morning. So I volunteered at the fire department, so I'm going to be there Saturday morning, see if they need any of my help. I'm like the, what do they call it? Like an apprentice, I guess you'd say. Said it's got to go to 3 meetings before I am. You say 3 meetings before I'm actually like fully into the fire department, I guess you could say. Until then, I'm an apprentice because he said that they've had a lot of people that volunteer and they'll give them, some, a little bit of equipment and stuff to help them out. And he said that they'll never show up for any calls and then they don't show up for meetings. So he said that he's started a 3 meeting requirement to where you have to come to 3 meetings before you can fully be on the fire department. But I go to church with a guy that's on there, and I talked to him tonight about it, and he told us to come to the pancake breakfast Saturday morning. So I'll try to wake up and get up there as soon as we can and help out. He's like, you can come. He's like, and then your wife and the kid can come later. And it's like, well, we only have one vehicle right now, so that ain't gonna work out too well. Gotta go get pig feed tomorrow. Took a few hours off work to catch some of my girls' track meet stuff. That's awesome, Hunt Ready. About to binge watch 20 of them. But other than that, just, typical work's what I got going on for the rest of the week. Yeah, Friday, April 1st, pancake breakfast are huge from the fire department. Yeah, so there's a lot of people come to them. There'll probably be a couple hundred people show up. But I've never helped at one. So, our fire department, they do there's a few things they do throughout the year to try to raise funds to keep it going. The pancake breakfast is one of them, and then they have the town has they call it Jesse James Days, and it's basically like a carnival, and they do a bunch of stuff, and fire department does a bunch of stuff to raise money. They usually like raffle off a car, and we'll have like a auction and a silent auction and stuff like that to raise money. So as refuel season's over, should start getting some days up. That's good. One thing I really want to get done before long is get my truck running. Trying to figure out what's wrong with it. The best email to reach me, OTHJAMEY at yahoo.com. If I had a way to type on here, I would just type it in, but I was using my wife's phone earlier to type stuff in. Like, you can't even like reply to comments on here. But if nothing else, it should be on my YouTube channel. I know it's on the website. It's OTHJAMEY at yahoo.com. OTHJamie at yahoo.com. OTH is my old business. Ozark Trophy Hunters. Correct. 100% correct. Yeah, OTH was my old business, my old sporting goods store, and I used to have a staff team, a hunting team, and everything, and I gave that up to open the store, and then took the store online and went to this. Which there's still a lot of people that, know me from the Ozark Trophy Hunters. I was going to create a new email, but there's so many things that, business related that are already connected through this email that I decided to just keep it. Although I do get so many like stupid emails, like spam emails, it's ridiculous. I bet I get 50 of them a day. Like every time somebody likes something on Facebook or YouTube or anything like that, I get those emails. I get emails from, Sportsman's Guide, Cabela's, Amazon, all kinds of stuff. Ozark Trapping House? Yeah. No, Ozark Trophy Hunters was the name of my outdoor store and stuff. I used to be all about hunting. I had that before I even trapped. That was back in, I want to say I started that in 2015, 7 years ago. And then I started that in 2015. I had a Facebook and a YouTube, and I had a pro staff team, and I gave all that up. I had a pro staff team, and I was going to conventions, and I was going to different hunting conventions with companies and stuff like that, helping represent them and stuff. And then I gave that up to open up my outdoor store, and I lost a lot of my sponsors when I did that. But that's what I wanted to do. It's what I felt like I needed to do. So I did that, and I had my outdoor store for about a year and a half. So I decided to just go online. That's probably one of the hardest decisions I ever made, was to close my store. Something I'd worked so hard for, to say that's enough and close it. And went online, and I've been doing this since 2019. And then I started the Blakely's Trapping Supplies January of 2021. So a little over a year I've been under Blakely's Trapping Supplies, but I've been doing this for 3.5 years. So yeah, I've spam calls. Was it about 1:30? 1:30 this afternoon. I had received 21 spam calls already today. And I probably received at least that many since then, just today. There's one time I counted the spam calls I had in a 7-day period, and it was almost 200. So that's why I tell people, if you call me off my website or whatever, if I don't answer, leave me a voicemail and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, because I get so many spam calls that my phone automatically just sorts them out now. But with my number being posted on Facebook, YouTube, my website, Google, everything, I get spam calls like crazy. Yeah, if you go to, if you Google my name, Jamie Blakely, or Blakely's Trapping Supplies, it'll pull up the Google business page for my old store. You can see the pictures of my old store, of all the fishing lures that I had and stuff. I mean, I really miss my store. I worked super, super hard to get my store, and I miss it every day. But it is what it is. Eventually, I'll have me a store open here, but you gotta get the money to do it. It costs a lot of money. Trying my trying my hardest to keep the dream alive. Definitely been a lot of ups and downs, that's for sure. But it's been a crazy road, crazy story, that's for sure. But you can't get anywhere without failure, that's for sure. And yeah, my emails are crazy. Who do you think makes the most in trapping? You mean money wise? I would say would say the cabins make a buku amount of money, and next to the cabins, I would probably say, I don't know. I would probably say if I was to guess who makes more money in the trapping industry, I would probably say the cabins. The cabins are the people that own Minnesota Trapline. They own the MB brand traps. They own Bridger traps. They have the new Alpha traps, and they have their own bait and lures. They own like the Hiawatha Valley, Gusto, Violator 7. Those are all cabins bait and lures. And they also own, what is it called? Give me a second. But all the cabins, baits, and lures are theirs. And then they own, it's another brand of lures. I know they have like Voodoo, GH2. Those are the name of the lures. Whatever brand that makes those, they're the ones that own that. Bridger, yeah, Bridger traps. The cabins own Bridger traps. They own MB traps, Bridger traps, and now they have the new Alpha trap. And those are just the things I know that they own. So if I had to guess, Fox Hollow. There you go. They own Fox Hollow brand too. So if I had to guess, they probably make the most money. Yeah, Bill Duke does have a pretty good. Bill Duke has definitely a good setup going, but I would definitely say I think the cabins are ahead of him. And even like the people that are F&T, I would say they got a pretty good chunk of money, but if I had to guess, I'd say the cabins are probably the people that make the most money in the trapping industry. The Alpha is different from the MB. It's the same people that own it, but the Alpha is its own trap. For a while, I thought it was the MB Alpha, but it's just Alpha. So like MB is its own brand, Bridger's its own brand, Alpha is its own brand. So I don't know if they'll be coming out with different sizes in the future, but cabins, yeah. So I think cabins is definitely probably the people that make the most from the trapping industry. F&T, I don't know who owns it. Like you weld 40 hours a week. I'd rather be a poor trapper living in the woods. Maybe someday. Tell you what, being a poor trapper is not all it's cracked up to be. Just about every day I miss being a chef just because I had that paycheck that I was always getting and I didn't have to worry about it. So now, with my wife as a stay-at-home mom, this is all we have. So if this doesn't work out, we're pretty much done for. Sometimes I think I'd like to work for myself, and man, it's nice to just punch a clock and give a shit about work on my own time. Yeah. That's the thing about it. I miss the days where I woke up, went to work, clocked in, worked, clocked out, came home, could do whatever I wanted for the rest of the day. Now I work all the time. I enjoy it and I love what I do and I want to change it for the world. But I work all the time and I'm not guaranteed that I'm going to have the money to pay the bills, if that makes sense. Your wife and kids won't let you be a poor trapper. Yeah. I understand that. It's definitely been hard for us. Uh, the thing about writing articles for magazines is I'm not the greatest writer, I guess you could say. Now I have, like, I've wrote a book and stuff like that, but I'm not the greatest writer, I guess you could say. A lot of the stuff that I do, I just keep for myself. Like, uh, if I'm gonna write an article, I'm not gonna do it for a magazine. I'll write something and I'll just put it on my Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, my new platform, website, something like that. I'll just keep it for myself. And then the trapping DVD, that costs a lot of money. And I mean, you're just as good on YouTube as you are doing a DVD. Because once you get monetized on YouTube, which takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication, you can make money on YouTube and it doesn't cost you anything like making a DVD does. If you make a DVD, you gotta have a better camera and then you got to have the editing software to get it to where it would fit into a DVD. And then you have to buy the DVDs, the cases, and there's just a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of out of pocket that goes into doing a DVD. You can make money. I don't know how much money there is into it. I've never, like I said, I've never done it or anything like that. I mean, I wouldn't think that people are making bank on it, but I would think there's a decent little chunk of money. I would say, I would say people that write in like hunting magazines probably make more off of them than the people that write in trapping magazines. Yeah, I mean, I get this one, which I've been a member of Missouri for a year. This is only the second thing I've ever received from them. And then I get the Trapper's Post. So, and I've thought about doing advertising in these before, but I've talked with different people about it, and a lot of the people I've talked to said that doing the advertising didn't really help them any. They didn't see any revenue from it, and they're not the cheapest thing. I joined the NTA, and I get the Trapper's Post is where I got that from, is joining the NTA. Yeah, when I joined Missouri, I didn't get squat. I don't subscribe to any of them. I'm a poor guy. I don't have the money to subscribe to stuff like that. The only thing I ever subscribed to was Uncut to watch Trapper J, and when he left, I left. So, but I got so much going on that I don't have time to sit and read a lot of those. So, American Trapper is from NTA, no. I don't know. So I got this one from is NTA. That's what I got from is NTA. It's the only place I can think of that I would have got it from. I never signed up for anything else. And I've never received a American Trapper magazine. I've never even seen one. Like when I joined the NTA, I got a welcome letter and where's it at? I got a welcome letter and this National Trappers card. But that's all I got from them, and then I started getting these Trappers Post magazines. Uh, from uh, Missouri, I never got a welcome letter or anything. I'm gonna say the only thing I ever got from Missouri is I've gotten 2 of these, and then I got a letter the other day saying that I needed to renew my membership. And that's all I ever got from Missouri. They told me I would receive a welcome letter and stuff like that, but I never got any of that stuff. I guess I could look at this. I never even thought it would have the name on here. I got my defibrillator June 18th. I didn't know it had the date of when I got it on there. American Trapper, Trapper Hospital. I have no idea, Internet Vet. What was wrong with you? What do you mean? Jim, what do you mean what was wrong with me? The Trapper, FTA's magazine, when you joined the organization. Yeah, that's what I say. I'll never buy another membership for the NRA. Because that is... Oh my god. The amount of... Trapper used to be called Trapper and Protocol. But, the NRA, when I bought my membership or whatever from them, it was a 5-year membership, I want to say, for like $100. And yeah, 5-year, I think, for like $100. And the amount of phone calls that I get, them wanting me to send them money, the amount of letters in the mail I get wanting me to send them money, and that's all. That's all you ever get is phone calls and letters of sending them money. Emails. I get a ton of emails from them too. Send me money. And I mean, the NRA to me is a lot like the MTA. They're they're in. They're not in it for the rights as much as they are just the politics of it. So, I don't know. Thanks for Trapper. Been subscribed to it since 1989. That's awesome. The Backwoodsman is another good one. Obviously, fur fishing game. I have to be a member of the NRA to be able to be a member of our land. So, yeah. So the NRA was just... If I'd have known how much BS came with it, like all the phone calls and emails and letters in the mail, send us money, send us money, send us money. You know, ever since I joined them, and it's been 5-6 years now, and it's always the same thing. Like, we are at the worst part in history of trying to fight for the rights to have our gun rights and stuff like that. I mean, the letter hasn't changed in years. It's the same one. Just send money. Oh, if you send us here's our if you want to renew your membership for $100, you can send an extra $50 to receive a cup. I mean, come on now. I had a bad experience with the NRA. I don't have much to get to say. Yeah, the only thing I can say that I like about the NRA is they have an insurance for your guns. So, like, if you have a fire or something, they will pay for your guns. Like, they won't pay 100%. I can't remember how much the insurance is, but if you're a member of the NRA, you have insurance on your guns. So if you have a fire or somebody steals your guns or something, you can file for the insurance and uh, get some money out of it. But I mean, other than that, my thing about it is I understand that a lot of these associations and stuff are like non-profit things, and they use their money to do things. But I mean, used to, when you were members of these things, they did stuff for their members, and now none of them do anything. They don't give a flip. Like, they don't care. You give them your money to be a member, and they don't care. They'll send you a letter every now and then asking for more money, but I mean, that's it. And that's why I honestly don't know if I will renew my membership with the Missouri Trappers Association after what they did over this ordeal, because I don't know. Seeing the politics come out in it really turned me away. That sounds flintlock. When it's like when I signed up for the NRA, somehow it like signed me up for a. I don't know how it happened, but I got signed up for like a Donald Trump supporter thing, and the amount of emails I get from that is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah, so I say the NRA, they're in it for the politics. That's pretty much it. They're not in it to fight. Like, the NRA, when you have these big events happen, you might hear their name mentioned once or twice. But when there's these little things happen, like a legal gun owner defending himself, getting arrested and stuff, you don't see the NRA jumping in and trying to help that person and stuff like that. Like with the Kyle Rittenhouse, the NRA didn't have any part of that. They were like trying to stay away from it. Just like that, was it the Black Rifle Company? Everybody loved that company. Well, now they've done stuff. Everybody's backing away. Nobody wants to deal with them anymore. Just really hate bad customer service and then service. Yeah, that's the thing with most of the associations. It's like you join, and after you join, all they do is ask for more money. Happened with the MTA, you know. With I've talked about this a few times, but with the Missouri Extension, the MDC, which is the Missouri Department of Conservation, put out plans to extend our trapping season, which would basically extend everything from ending January 31st to ending the last day of February. And then it would also include, for private land only, landowners pretty much, to trap coyotes until April 15th. And coons and stuff like that. Well, it would also add a early season in, I want to say September and October, for raccoons and skunks and stuff. Well, everybody that I knew and have heard of was all for this. They wanted it, which I did. I wanted it. Well, the MTA came out with a letter saying that they are for extending coyote season to the end of February, but they oppose everything else. They were against extending the season to April 15th and against extending the season in September and October. Because their defense to this was the fur is not prime in May and April or September and October. Their argument was the fur is not prime in those months, so people would not be utilizing the fur. They would be catching animals, dispatching, and throwing them away. Also, they said that if you extend these seasons, come April and stuff, you would be catching, raccoons and stuff like that might be pregnant. And that would give ammunition to the antis to fight us with. Well, first off, my thing about the fur being prime and wanting to base your laws pretty much on fur is the fur market's been dead for a while and there's no money in fur. So it doesn't matter if you have prime fur or fur that is useless. Most fur is not even sellable anymore because nobody wants it, or you're getting such a low amount of money for it that it's not worth even driving to your seller to sell it. So to me, using the fur primeness argument is, to me that argument has no value because it's useless and stupid. Now, to base what you would consider a law or not based on what antis think, I think the moment that you think about the antis before you do your landowners is the moment that the antis win and we lose, pretty much. I think if you're going to consider what they think and what they might do before you consider what a Missouri landowner wants, we've lost. And for you to take the money that I gave you for my membership and use it on this kind of makes me sick, like, honestly. Because they did a poll and 93%. Missouri did a thing when they came out with this. They had a thing on their website to where people could email them their thoughts, opinions, concerns, whether they're for it, against it, whatever, on their website. 93% of the emails were people saying they were for the extensions, and most of them were for landowners, because it doesn't mean that they are going to partake in trapping in these seasons, but to have the opportunity to do it if they need to or want to is one thing. To where you don't have to worry about getting a hold of a conservation agent or something to do a nuisance job and then have to worry about accidental catches and stuff. To where you can literally just go maintain your farm. So this whole thing was built on people wanting to maintain their land, not longliner trappers, So the MTA was looking at it as a longliner trapper and a politician is how they were looking at it. And to me, that just rubbed me the wrong way. And I think they said 700 and something members of the Missouri Trappers Association over the, thousands of landowners. So you're going to take the opinion of at most 700 people over thousands and thousands of landowners? I mean, come on now. NRI rolled on bump stocks, they're rolling on braces and binary tree. Yeah, that's the way it is, because the NRA has become where it's all about money. Late season would be the best time to control this further. Yeah, it would. I remember the National Muzzleloading Rifle Association too. I get a cool magazine every month from them too. It's called Muzzle Blast. It's all about black powders. That's awesome. So that's just my thoughts of the MTA, and I've had a lot of people that have kind of thought the same thing. You know, I mean, you can't decide your laws on what antis think, because the moment you take their feelings into consideration, we've lost. Period. I mean, again, that's the same thing as the NRA rolling on bump stocks. You're taking the opinion of antis to create your laws, and once you do that, they've won and you've lost. Period. PA is back. You had whitetails there. Yeah, nobody wins. That's what the MTA did. And it rubbed me. Like, not only did I become a member and not receive anything from them, not even a welcome letter or anything. I didn't get an email, letter, nothing. I didn't even get a payment confirmation from them. Like, I got nothing. I got the 2 Mountain Man books. Over a 12-month period, I've got the 2 Mountain Man books and a letter saying that my membership needed renewed. Only thing I ever got from them. And the day that they announced their letter where they were against the new season extensions, that was the day that I received my letter for renewing my membership. And it's like, I don't know, I'm going to think about that, because I want to be a member of the association, but I mean, if that's the way that you're going to use the funds, then I don't know. Because that's what they said, 10 years ago, the Missouri Trappers Association had almost 2,000 members, and now there's just a little over 700. So, I mean, what's that tell you? There's still a lot of trappers, I can tell you that. We got some pretty good deer here, too, here in southwest Missouri. The thing about it is we got big deer just like Iowa and Illinois and all them other states do. The big difference is we still have the big monster bucks, but the average deer in Iowa and the average deer here is completely different. So our average deer here is, 120, 130 inch deer. But we still have 200-inch deer here. The average deer in Iowa is, 150-inch deer. So that's the big difference, is the average. We still got the big deer, but the average deer is definitely a big difference. Yeah, that makes sense. So, can you use straight wall cartridges? I think in Iowa you can use straight wall cartridges. And see, the thing about Illinois and the laws is that's all coming out of Chicago. I mean, the majority of people is in Chicago, and they're, leftist pretty much. So, yeah. That's a lot of people don't understand, like a conservation agent, a lot of people don't understand how how much right they have. Shotgun slugs with black powder on. And what's crazy about black powder though is some of the inlines they're making nowadays are pretty much the same as a rifle. I mean, they make them where they don't take much longer to reload. I mean, you got your powders and pellets. You just throw your. I mean, they got quick loaders too, where you just literally go. You just take your barrel and go, push it down, and put your cap back, and you're done. I mean, it doesn't take, a minute to reload, if that, 30 seconds. You can use pistol too. Straight walls yet, it's in the works. Yeah. 62 caliber flintlock, the old school. Yeah. So they make some of those muzzleloaders now. You can shoot 300 yards with them. So if that's the case, could you use like a 300 blackout? Because you can build a 300 blackout on an AR platform with a pistol lower. My brother has one that legally it's classified as a pistol because it was built as a pistol. It has no buttstock on it. It has a like an extended what is it called? An extended stock, like an extended pistol stock, pretty much. It's kind of like a regular stock. But legally, it's a pistol. I mean, it's registered as a pistol. Because I know here in our muzzleloader season, we're allowed to use muzzleloaders and pistols, and you can use the 300 blackout because legally it's a pistol. It's registered as a pistol and everything. I appreciate y'all coming on and chatting with me tonight. I started it pretty late, but I like getting on here and chatting with everybody, seeing how everybody's doing. Want to support the MTA based on that story. You can reward weekly or so. Yeah. Another thing, I'm sure there's people that's had a lot better experiences with the MTA than I have, but I mean the fact that when I signed up I didn't receive anything from them, and really the only benefit to it is you get to go to the MTA fur auction and sell fur there. But other than that, there's really no benefit. I mean, you don't get or receive anything. You don't have to be a member to be at the conventions or to even be a dealer at the convention. So I don't know. It's like I tell people, instead of giving my money to has to be a revolver or single shot 30 caliber bigger. So it specifies no semi-automatic pistols. See, I got a Colt 45 revolver, so I'd be good, but what about like one of those long range pistols that you can get like a 300 Magnum in? That most people have 223 or 22 250, but you can get up to like a 300 in it. It's a single shot pistol. Could you use that? But yeah, I don't know. It's a decision I'll have to make whether I want to renew it or not, but at this point I don't know. Apparently a lot of people have it's a Colt. It's a Smith & Wesson 45 Colt. It's one that has dual it's too late, my mind ain't working. Dual like wheels or whatever. To where I can shoot 45 auto out of it, or I can switch the wheel and shoot 45 Colt out of it. But it's a Smith & Wesson. So no, the caliber is the 45 Colt. Yeah, the ammo. Flintlock, yeah. Oh, it still gets me excited. But I don't know. Alright, Hunt Ready, I appreciate you hopping on here and chatting with us tonight. You have a good night and have a good day tomorrow. But yeah, like the association, it's like I would almost rather just support all these small trapping clinics and stuff going on than, support the association, because obviously they're not, really helping the smaller events. Like there's districts, and each district has different trapping events, and I donate and support those different districts, and so that might be, I'll probably just continue to do those instead of being a member of the association. But I don't know, I might renew, but I don't know, it's only what, like $32 a year or something like that, but I didn't really have any problems with them, because not receiving anything from them is whatever. But when they did that, that really irritated me. I mean, they basically took the anti's feelings and opinions more than they did the landowners. So. But anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and head off here. I appreciate everybody coming on and chatting with me tonight. Appreciate all the likes. Hope everybody has a great night, and hope everybody has a great rest of their week. Tomorrow is Thursday. Well, I guess today's Thursday now. It is 12:23 here, or 12:24 here. So it's Thursday now. So I guess you can think now tomorrow's Friday, if that's how you want to think. But again, I appreciate everybody coming on and chatting with me tonight. Really appreciate it. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you.